Today I want to talk to you about how I exactly prep to do my B12 shots. Everything from setting up my station to what I do before and after taking the shot. Now just to be clear, this isn't a medical tutorial. I'm not going to actually show you me taking the shot. This is not an instructional video. This is not any type of medical advice. Before you take any medication, especially something as severe as an injection, consult your doctor and do all the relevant tests. Now if you actually want to see me administering the shot to myself, going through all these processes step by step, leave a comment down below and I'll make a video showing that. But for now, let me go over the steps that I take to ensure that I do everything necessary to prevent infections and administer the shot as best as possible. So let me get started. Before you even think about taking the shot or handling any medication, what you need to do is hop in the shower real quick. Get yourself clean. Proper hygiene is insurmountable to any amount of precaution that you could take when piercing your skin with a needle. So the best way to prevent infection is to start this process by getting yourself clean. And when you finish that, you could go ahead and start prepping your station. So what I like to do, just to ensure that I'm using a clean surface, no matter where I am, I always use a clean towel, one that just washed and hasn't been used before. If you could dedicate a brand new towel to this purpose and only use it for that, wash it like after every use and ensure that it is always clean when you're ready to use it, that is one of the best things that you could do. So what you want to do with this is you want to make sure that it covers all the surfaces that your medication is going to be on. So once you get your towel set up, your station clean, let me go ahead now and start talking about the medication. If you're using something like B12 or probably any injectable, after the first use, you need to store it in the fridge and keep it away from sunlight or light on the hole. So you could see here, I have my vial wrapped in a paper towel. And there's a reason for that. You don't want too much light to be hitting this all the time. You could even see the bottle tinted, and that's for a reason. That is because B12 highly sensitive to light and you don't want to give it direct sunlight, right? Or direct light on the hole. So this here is a vial of cyanocobalamin, right? I'll put it up on the screen for you so you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The first step I do after we're done prep the station is I take this out of the fridge. The reason for doing that, the reason for taking it out of the fridge to rest for like a minute or two, when it is straight out of the fridge cold like that, it tends to sting when you push on the plunger and send it into your body. So to reduce that, you just let it sit outside wrapped in the paper towel for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes for the most. While that's happening, you could start to prep everything else. So let me talk about the syringes and the needles. What I have here is a 3 cc per ml syringe. It's a smaller syringe and what we're doing is only taking 1 mil. So 1 mil is only till about here. So right down here is about 1 mil. The needle that we're using is a 25 millimeter. Right? So a 25 gauge needle. And I hope you could see that there too. It's not a big needle. And what you want to make sure when you're taking these things out to use, you want to ensure that the packaging is secure. You want to make sure that it's not open, it's not burst, it's not torn anyway. You want to make sure that it is properly sealed. Now once you make sure that it's properly sealed, you go ahead, you open your syringe from the bottom here. Making sure to always hold where it's covered. Right, so covered in plastic, covered in the wrap. You want to tear from the end that you're using. Down, peel it like a banana. And you're going to do the same thing with your needle. The end that going into the syringe, you want to hold it from the plastic, from the wrapper, and peel it from there, like a banana. So you're just peeling either side out. You're going to hold each side of the wrapper with the exposed ends and attach the needle to the syringe. So now that we have the needle in the syringe, the needle is capped. We're going to rest this now together on our towel. Put that there for now. By now, this reached room temperature. So we're going to start prepping this now. You can see that red on top there. There's a cap. There's a cap over the place where the needle goes in to draw the medication out. So you need to remove it. I'm not going to do that, but you need to remove that cap. When you do remove that cap, here's what you're going to do. Alcohol swab, right? You're going to take one of these bad boys, and when you remove the red cap or the cover on top, you're going to clean where the needle enters. after you remove the cap. As soon as you finish, you put this with the cap removed on your cloth that you're using. You take this now, wherever you decide to inject, you're going to prep, like clean that side, right? So if you're doing it on your arm, if you're doing it on your stomach, or where I like to do it, I like to go right here, right above the outer thigh, right above my butt. So that junk can meet. So you see exactly what I'm doing here? You hold like this and you squeeze together. So that is what I do. Take the hair and you clean it. You wipe it, make sure it's clean. You don't want to administer an injection while you still have alcohol on your skin. So you want to give that some drying time, about 30 seconds, 40 seconds drying time, right? You could just fan it with your hand or something. Now, during that time, what you're going to do, you're going to take the plastic off this and you're going to literally pull the plunger and push it down a couple times. This is to ensure that the syringe is working properly and there is no bends or kinks in the needle. Sometimes you might get a brand new needle and the top where you need to inject into your skin, it bends, it falls over. But this needle is so small, you had to literally go like this to see that. And you see I don't wearing glasses, a man like me can't see that. So that is to ensure whatever you put in here is going to move freely, right? So once you do that and we get that out of the way, a little trick that my cousin taught me was whatever amount of medication that you're going to pull into the vial, you pull that amount of air into it. For instance, I'm going to take 1 ml. So 1 ml right here. Pull 1 ml of air into this and hold it. Then when you inject into here, allow the air to go into the bottle. And apparently that's a trick that prevents plenty bubbles or bubbles on the hole from forming in your syringe when you're pulling the medication. Now if by chance that didn't work or you're not feeling safe doing that and you get bubbles in this, so let me say there's a space right here, just full with air, no medication, just air. You need to get that out. So what you need to do is push on the plunger as much as needed to get that air out without pushing the medication out. So there's a step that you have to take your time with. You don't want to just press the plunger until you see medication flying out like you just see in the movies. No, that's wasting your medication. You want to push on the plunger until you see, so the medication red. You want to see the red go straight down to the needle. You will see it because up to where the needle enters in the syringe, it's clear. So you're going to see that red running through until it meets the needle. Don't waste your medication and play like them doctors on them ER shows and just press it down and make sure everything fly out. Don't do that. So by then your injection site good to go. All the alcohol clear up, we're good. Now comes the hard part. Sticking yourself. And it might seem scary at first, but trust me, once you do it one time, you're going to realize that the people who has been administering your B12 injections before was literally playing darts with your ass. Like they was trying to pelt it in there, like you use some kind of headhunter or something. So the method that I show you, pinching the tissue together, a part of your body that have plenty muscle, like your glute, pinching that and making that flesh rise. So when you squeeze it together, how it does make that little roll. So making that rise is ensuring that when you put that needle in, you're going straight to the muscle. So I'm going to use this. You press here and you're going in. Don't go in at an angle like this. Don't go in at an angle like this. 90 degrees squeeze and slowly touch your skin and press in. When you're talking about how much you want to go in, with a needle like this, a 25 gauge, you want to go in about half or 3/4 of the way to ensure that you're actually going into the muscle and not going right under the skin. Now, when we're talking about going right under the skin, we have to talk about not pressing the plunger on the syringe a little too early. Because if you do that, like you just stick in and start to press the plunger, and you didn't pass the skin threshold and you didn't meet where you're supposed to actually go into the tissue, the medication actually seeps out from under your skin through the injection site. So you wouldn't get your full dose. You want to make sure you squeeze, you send the needle in, Make sure you're in the muscle, so about half or 3/4 the way in, and then slowly start pushing on the plunger. Don't just, as soon as the needle meet, start to push on the plunger, because you'll be wasting your medication. It'll seep out through your skin. You might even think that the injection site bleeding because the medication red. It almost looks the same as blood. So what you need to do is take your time, take a breath, squeeze the site, let the needle meet, slowly enter your skin and go straight down, half 3/4 of the way, then start pressing on the plunger. Press all the way down. As soon as the plunger hits the bottom, pull the needle out. Quick. In a straight motion. The same motion that you enter at 90 degrees, you want to pull it out in the same way, 90 degrees. Don't pull at an angle up, don't pull at an angle down. Right? To make the hole wider. That is what she said. So basically, as soon as you finish do that, you pull it out. You could get one of these. Right? But if it's a baby and you're afraid the alcohol, you feel like a burn, it actually do burn because it's a 25 gauge needle. It is barely make a hole bigger than a mosquito bite. Take this and this is exactly what you're doing. Let me say this is the injection site here. You want to press down on it. Press down with some force and massage. See what I'm doing there? You know what I know what you're thinking about it, but we're talking about the injection site, not what your mind thinking about. Massage the area for about 30 seconds to 45 seconds, and that is to help the medication move through the muscle and not stay in one area. Like just stay pile up right here. So that is exactly the process that I do from start to finish. From the time I get up, I just jump in straight in the shower and then following this process step by step all the way through. Now again, I know I didn't show me taking the actual injection, I just run it through the steps. If you want to see me actually go through the steps, showing you what I do, cleaning the vial, using the syringe, showing you the injection site and actually taking the injection, leave a comment down below and I'll make that happen for you. I don't care if that video get copyrighted, I'll do that just to show you an instructional video on how to take the injection properly. So I hope you get some information from this. And one of the most important pieces of information is consult your doctor before you take anything, before you do any kind of administering a medication on your own, especially something like self-administered injections. I went through almost 2 years of testing to reach to this point, and I still have tests to run to make sure that I'm doing the correct thing. The good thing about B12 is that you cannot overdose on it. B12 is water soluble. So if by chance the doctor made a mistake over all these testings, there's no way to get an overdose of B12. You'll just excrete it because it's a water soluble nutrient. So you're safe either way. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you get some information that's helpful. This is Jeremy from Mongdal, and I'll see everybody in the next one. Later.